And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Blockchain Talk. I'm your host, Dimi H, crypto educator, and today we are going to talk about wallet security. Now, wallet security is one of the fundamental basics when it comes down to protecting your cryptocurrency, when it comes down to protecting your Bitcoin. It is perhaps a re-show, perhaps a little rehearsal about one of the basic fundamentals that everyone and anyone actually should know when getting involved with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. However, time and time, especially during this bear market and as well during the last bull run, it became obvious not anyone has mastered the art of securing your crypto and Bitcoin. So, with that in mind, I decided to do yet another episode dedicated to the security of your cryptocurrency and your Bitcoin. Anyway, let us begin. I'm going to start sharing my screen here. There we go. So, I'll be gone for now. Oh, no, I'm going to put it that way. Let us begin. Oh. That's not right. I'm going to readjust here. There we go. Let us begin with the types of cryptocurrency wallets. Now I'm going to make use of a little image of blockchain console as it nicely illustrates the different kind of wallets which exist. Now from the get-go you can see there exist two different kind of wallets. You've got cold wallets and you've got hot wallets. Underneath the cold wallets you see hardware wallets and paper wallets. Underneath hot wallets, you see desktop wallets, mobile wallets, and web wallets. Now, what is the biggest difference between a cold and a hot wallet? Well, everything has to do with connection to the internet. If your wallet, such as desktop wallets, mobile wallets, and web wallets, have a connection to the internet, they are considered hot, meaning they have a direct connection to the internet and have a variety of possible entries in order to be cracked, I'm going to say. On the other hand, you have cold wallets, hardware wallets, and paper wallets. Those are the safest kind of wallets. There's no internet connection involved. All data being stored in a cold wallet is being made offline. Now, some people, and I know I've said it myself in the past, will say, oh, my coins are now offline, they are safely stored. No, what is safely stored is your access towards the blockchain itself, that is safely stored offline. Your coins themselves remain on the blockchain. They, well, for lack of current better wording, I'm going to say they are currently in limbo, meaning they can still be viewed on the blockchain if making use of a blockchain explorer, but without your private key, without your seed phrase, accessing the wallet and going online to move them, the coins will not move. So what is really being stored in a cold wallet and in any other wallet in reality is nothing more than access. It's nothing more than the possibility to move credits along the blockchain as you wish. Hence the difference between a hot wallet and a cold wallet. It's not the coins which are being held offline, it is your access to them. Actually, with the access to them, you have, well, all possibilities to invest, trade, transact crypto. Something else that I might do here, well, I might give a few examples. Now, paper wallets, those are generally being used by Bitcoin ATMs. Yes, those exist. At that point, you insert a credit card into the ATM, you buy Bitcoin with it, and you get a little printout, little paper with the seed phrase on it that you can access and move them, and that's basically where your crypto are. That's a use of paper wallets. Now, are paper wallets safe? I'm going to say yes and no. Yes, in the sense that it is cold storage. Only you have access to that private key if you're not going to lose it or make it known to others. However, the difficulty here, well, not a difficulty, the problem with a paper wallet is paper isn't really sustainable. It can tear, it can be destroyed, ink can disappear due to water damage, due to sun and light influence, etc., etc. So if you have a paper wallet, it is most wise to start transferring the Bitcoin held on it towards number one, which are hardware wallets, called hardware wallets. Those are nothing more than USB sticks which actually hold the data, where software is being installed and has no connection to the internet. Hardware wallets are the safest kind of wallets you can have. We'll delve deeper into hardware wallets. Few examples of hardware wallets. Examples all of you guys may know: Trezor, Ledger, and there is naturally the things from Engrave, Satoshi, among a few. Now, hot wallets, you can see three different ones. You've got desktop wallets, mobile wallets, and web wallets. The name themselves give a little bit away what they are. You've got a variety of desktop wallets. Think in the sense of MetaMask is the most popular one. That is a desktop wallet. You've got a mobile wallet. The Trust Wallet or Coinbase Wallet are two examples of this. Web wallet, in a certain sense, MetaMask is a web wallet as well. Perhaps a little bit more. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, I was thinking of another wallet as an example for web wallet, but it's not going to be correct one. I was thinking in the sense of Banano, no. Perhaps a more clear example of a desktop wallet, because I know I mentioned MetaMask, though that's more of a web wallet example. Clear example of a desktop wallet is, and now I can't remember the name. Sorry, guys. Well, practically any wallet you can download onto your computer is a desktop wallet. Nothing more, nothing less. I had a few examples, but I can't remember them. Sorry, guys. It happens, it happens. Anyway, I was going to keep this for last, so there we go. Now, as you guys have noticed, I was talking about seed phrases, your access key, the key in order to access and move your coins. Like I said, a wallet does not hold your coins. A wallet only holds the access to moving your coins. It is quite literally the key in order to get to your funds. And that key is, well, being accessed with double encryption. That's not right, sorry. Access is your seed phrase, which, as you can see here, seed phrase is 12, 18, or 24. What phrase used to access or restore a cryptocurrency wallet can also be called a secret recovery phrase, or a backup phrase. Cool thing about seed phrase, allows you to access your cryptocurrency wallet from any device anywhere in the world. Think of it as your master password for wallets. Your wallet being nothing more than the gateway towards your, well, credits. Anyway, the most important aspect here is your seed phrase. Lose your seed phrase or your recovery seed or whatever they call it here, secret recovery phrase or backup phrase. Lose that seed phrase and your funds can never be recovered ever again. Your seed phrase is the literal key to your funds. So it isn't sufficient to invest in a cold wallet, in a cold hardware wallet. That isn't sufficient enough. Second part of your security is keeping track of your seed phrase is to secure your seed phrase. Here are a few tips being given by Bitsquela. Never share your seed phrase with anyone, which should be dead obvious. Sharing your seed phrase with anyone implies they get access to your wallet, that they can get access to your funds, steal them from you, and you have lost your investments. Quite simple. Second, they say lock your seed phrase in a safety deposit box. With this, they want to say you want to keep your seed phrase secure somewhere that no one else has immediate access to. It implies that you need to write it down on a piece of paper or onto something, and that needs to be safeguarded somewhere safe where only you have access. That's basically the idea behind lock your seed in a safety deposit box. It doesn't need to be a safety deposit box. It needs to be something or somewhere secure where only you have access to. Now, one important thing is being mentioned here. That's mainly this. Write your seed phrase on a piece of paper, which is a little bit of a giveaway. If possible, laminate it for durability purposes. That's one important given. I'll get deeper into it later on. Store it in a secured box and keep the box in a private area in your home where no one else can easily access it. Like I said, it's all about you having sole access to your funds. Now, make multiple copies of your seed phrase and keep them in different places that only you can access. Now, this is a safety tip, but it is at the same time a double-edged sword. The more copies you make of your seed phrase, the higher the likeliness or the higher the chance someone else might find your seed phrase. The less copies exist, the safer it is, but at the same time, the risk also increases that you might lose it. So, in a certain sense, you will need to contemplate a little bit. Do I keep it on one piece of paper and hide it somewhere only you know you have access to, and which will remain unchanged as a location for many, many, many years to come? Or are you going to keep it, well, or are you going to keep multiple copies in multiple places, with naturally the risk of people accidentally discovering your seed phrase, slowly raising the more copies you make? So you need to make, well, you really need to think here, the pro and the cons. You need to weigh it out, really. Myself, I'm going to say from all my wallets, I only have one copy. I have different kind of wallets, but each seed phrase is being kept centralized. Perhaps it isn't a very good move from my part, but I and only I know exactly where my seed phrases are hidden, and I and only I know what the seed phrases are. So, on that account, I dare say I am quite safe. Like I said, making multiple copies really is weighing the pro and the cons. It is really weighing out the risks of increasing the amount of copies, but as well increasing the risk of people more easily accidentally finding your seed phrase, or naturally keeping it as low as possible, but with a higher risk that you forget or lose the seed phrase due to it being left in one place only. 2. Do not store your seed phrase in a device connected to the internet. That is a dead giveaway. My reason, as soon as your computer is logged onto the internet, hackers might hack their way into your computer, especially if they know you have Bitcoin, and especially if they know you have a variety of financial information stored on your computer. That said, it also implies that you shouldn't be saving your seed phrase in something like a OneDrive or a Google Drive or in the Apple Cloud, etc., etc. By reason, you are making use of a third party provider to store data for you. Data they have access to. Data which can be accessed by hackers who coincidentally find out your Gmail password and suddenly notice you have a seed phrase. I mean, people in the past have been hacked for really petty little things, especially if you go on Twitter or any other social media platform. You can see people getting riled up about, well, the smallest of things, the most insignificant of things, but also be disgruntled about your views on politics, about war, etc., etc. And myself, I've been targeted by wannabe hackers trying to hack my Twitter account in the past because of something I said they did not agree with. And can still quite remember that my cell phone, because I used two-factor authentication for Twitter, was blowing up with people trying to hack my account by trying to reset my password but failing because I had two-factor authentication on, whereby they sent me a little message with a validation code in order to change the password. It's not even SIM locked. It's another kind of two-factor authentication. Just goes to show how benevolent, well, how evil some people can be about something quite petty. And if they can get to your password on or on your Gmail of your Google account and start deleting stuff in your Google Drive, like for example your seed phrase, or accessing documents and seeing you have your seed phrase stored there, that implies they have access to your funds, and they can choose to withdraw the funds for themselves or really make you lose your funds by just deleting the file knowing you do not have a backup. That is one of the reasons why you shouldn't keep your seed phrase on things like OneDrive, Google Drive, etc. It is one of the reasons why you shouldn't keep your seed phrase somewhere on a device connected to the internet. And I mean, I've known people who safeguard their seed phrase in the form of a cookie on their computer. So the very first time that one of their parents or even themselves accidentally clipped the entire cache of their web browser, the seed phrase was lost as well as all funds contained therein. Hence, one of the reasons why you shouldn't do it. Is also a little bit of a dead giveaway. Never carry your seed phrase with you in public places. Same reason why you don't do it on the internet. There is a high chance you may lose your seed phrase, especially if it's written on but a piece of paper. Perhaps you only lose it and you will lose your access to your funds forever. Perhaps people will recognize the piece of paper and the 12 words as a seed phrase to your funds and might try to hack their way in, as you've basically given them the key to your cryptocurrency funds. So it's a little bit of a dead giveaway, and naturally, although it is more rare, but it does happen, there exist actual thieves. Say, for example, during a robbery whereby you have to give up all your belongings, your watches, your wallets, etc. If your recovery seed is within that, you've basically given away all your crypto holdings to wannabe robbers. Perhaps they don't recognize the seed phrase, and you might be in luck in that they just throw it away in the bin. But chances are great you will lose access to your funds, quite frankly. Now, up until this point, I've been talking about seed phrases as if written on a piece of paper. And you guys should know from the little talk I'm doing here when it concerns security of your wallet, that your seed phrase is one of the most important things where it concerns security. And like I said in the previous step here with types of crypto wallets, where it concerns paper wallets are not the most safest means to safeguard your crypto. And most seed phrases, sadly enough, are still being written on a laminated piece of paper. In order to increase protection, and this is just, damn, sorry guys, let me, there we go. This is not too chill, but this is going to be an educational level lesson, so I want you guys to very much understand what I'm trying to show here. These are steel plates. Now, everyone knows about a little piece of paper that comes with your ledger or your trezor, whereupon you write down your 12 or your 24 words. Now, like I said earlier about paper wallets, they are subject to tearing, destruction under the influence of high temperature, water, light, etc. What I'm talking about here is securing your seed phrase on a medium which is more indestructible. And I'm really talking here about metal plaques. And this is, for example, you have Xseed, but you also have, I believe it was called Bitstamp. I'm going to quickly show you guys. No, that's an exchange. Oh no, it was called Seed Stamper. No, with all the companies, sometimes I mess up a little bit. Stamp Seed, here we go. So what you're seeing here is basically engraving or stamping your words in a metal sheet. And I've chosen Xseed here by reason one I own. Well, multiple of their sheets here, but also because they highlight the strength of using a metal plate to engrave your seed phrase on. One, it's offline, naturally. It is waterproof, indeed. If you are using stainless steel to engrave your seed phrase in, it becomes waterproof. Remember, even laminated paper opened up or immersed long enough in water will affect the paper itself and it will start to break down. If it isn't the ink that is disappearing from the paper itself, it's the paper itself dissolving in water. Fireproof, paper burns, even laminated one. Metal, on the other hand, is fireproof. It can withstand temperatures upwards of more than 100 degrees Celsius. It's fireproof. It is tamper-proof. Not forget, on paper, you can still scribble out certain words and change them. They can be tampered with. If you start engraving on a piece of metal, well, tampering becomes a lot more difficult. By reason, you cannot simply override such a metal sheet. You need to re-engrave it. And if you try to restamp it, what happens is that you will get a mix of dents in the metal, which or makes the metal unreadable or doesn't really erase the words which have been stamped on the metal sheet, which makes it highly tamper-proof. Actually, I also say hot wallet, okay, cold wallet, okay, meaning they can be applied for both hot and cold wallets. An engraver. Now, the engraving procedure can go two different ways. You can do it with a hard metal point and engrave the words yourself into the metal. That method I'm not too much of a fan of, by reason if you really start engraving, you are going to start scratching the metal plate. Well, in most instances, and I'm talking as an engineer here, when you start scratching into metal, you are as well removing some of the protection of the metal against oxidation, meaning that while the metal sheets themselves can be waterproof or have been waterproofed, etching in them opens up the bare metal, allowing for oxidation or rust to form, which means that over a long period of time, especially when the key is kept in slightly humid rooms, rust can occur and the seed becomes unreadable. Hence, engraving, not too much a fan of. However, stamping your seed, such as you're seeing here, is much safer, because at that point you are denting the metal. You're not scratching away the protective surface, you are denting it, meaning there's a little, well, a hole in it, but the protective layer remains intact, meaning that no rust or oxidation can occur. So at that point, the engraving or denting it or stamping your seed is probably the wisest choice you can make. Is another little thing that's a seed signer. Yeah, okay, it's in Dutch. I thought it was in English. Now, basically, what is this little toy here? This little toy is called a seed signer, meaning, well, most crypto wallets have an inbuilt program which allows them to create the 12 or 24 word seed phrase. However, that also implies that if you are making use of a hot wallet, that program can be read and that the third party service provider of the hot wallet can actually have access to your seed phrase by reason it knows the program which created your 12 or 24 words. On that account, you want something that is air gapped, meaning something which will produce a seed phrase that you can use and transfer your funds to, but is independent of the wallet you are going to use. And that's basically what a seed signer is. It's nothing more than a little handy tool to create your own seed phrase, to create a seed phrase that you can make use of for your wallet. And yeah, it's highly adjustable here. You can see a few components, etc., etc. Basically, it has multiple, how to say, functions, accessories which come with it. The most important part about the seed signer here is that you are air gapping your seed phrase, which makes it even more secure than making use of the inbuilt applications which give you the 12 or 24 words. So let's take an example here to illustrate my point a little bit more clear. Say, for example, you have bought yourself a little ledger to store your cryptocurrency, your Ethereum or your Bitcoin on, etc. You do the setup. You need to download some software on your computer for the ledger, and the ledger itself gives you the different steps in order to prepare your wallet. And then it says, okay, I will now, well, it always comes up with two choices. It will say, I can give you the choice to produce a 12 or 24 sentence seed phrase for you, inbuilt with the application itself, or you give in your very own 24 sentence seed phrase, 24 words long seed phrase. And that's actually where the seed signer comes in. Hereby, you're going to say to the application, I have got my own 24 word seed phrase as being designed, as being made by the seed signer itself. Can be applied to all wallets. But the important part here is that it is air gapped. You are reducing the possibility of the ledger application itself of, without your knowledge, storing the 24 word seed phrase onto its private service or communicating it back towards ledger itself. That's what is being meant with air gapping. Seed signer allows you to air gap, gives an additional layer of security. And naturally, just as with the seed signer, you get your 12 or 24 word long phrase. You even can create a little QR code which needs to be scanned in order to use. However, your seed phrase is being made, and at the same time, if you have air gapped it, you can once again make use of X seed or even the stamp seed on metal to increase your security. So those are small steps to increase your security where it concerns your seed phrase. So to summarize, for up until now, you've got your wallet, but you need to know what type of wallet you have. Is it a cold one or is it a hot wallet? Is it connected to the internet or not? That's the first thing you need to know. With a cold wallet, you need to know, is it hardware or is it something else? And at that point, naturally, you can start, okay, seed phrase is being generated. How is it being generated? Generated with the inbuilt app of the hardware app, of the hardware wallet that you have, or is it being auto-generated through your desktop wallet itself, etc., etc.? In order to increase security there, you can say, okay, I'm going to increase security and I'm going to air gap it with the seed signer. Seed signer will give you your 12 or 24 word long seed phrase, which you can stamp or engrave on a metal plate by reason it is, well, as mentioned before, offline, it's waterproof, fireproof, and tamper-proof. It is more resistant than the piece of paper you would otherwise use. And then it is up to you. It really is up to personal ownership at that point to really secure your seed phrase. Your best practices, as I have mentioned here in detail, not to share it with anyone, to keep it safely locked up in a place only you know about, outweigh the risks, outweigh the pro and the cons of having multiple copies and storing them in multiple places, so the amount of copies you have of the seed phrase. Naturally, to not make an internet copy of them, which is a little bit of a duh here, and to not carry with them in public places, but keep them hidden in a safe space. And then I want to, perhaps this is a little bit of a little shield. I'm talking about engrave here. They have been a guest in some of my past live streams by reason that they developed the most secure crypto wallet to date. And from all the things I've said, they offer an all-in-one solution. They've got a hardware wallet, which is the one you're seeing here, multi-coin wallet even. Generate and store your perfect key completely offline. They made it so that you can generate your seed phrase, your key, in an offline manner, meaning that they made sure that the key is being generated without their knowledge, completely offline. Like I said, they are air gapping it. The wallet itself has an inbuilt function like the seed signer, but entirely happens offline. It is coolest crypto wallet, so yada yada yada. Like I said, has protection against online hackers, no Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, or USB, so no connection possible to the internet. And they make use of graphene, something akin a little bit to the steel metallic seed phrase. At loss for words here, sorry. It's a little bit akin to, well, the stamp seed metallic plates here. However, in this case, they are going to use graphene. And as you guys can see, instead of the traditional lines where you can do the engraving or even do the punching in the metal, they have foreseen holes. And what's the difference here? As you guys can see, there's 2 plaques here, meaning your key is being generated specifically for you, and by actually poking the holes through the graphene underneath an underlying plate, you are double encrypting your seed phrase. For example, you can see the different holes there. This is now an 8 seed phrase, 8-word long seed phrase that is being used. And as you guys can see, there's about 26 holes, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc., etc., etc. You can form words with them by punching the holes, meaning that you can store the 2 plaques separately. And both of them will form your key. So you can have the first metal plate where the holes are punched in, and you can see patterns, but that doesn't mean you can see the words which were being formed. You can have the upper graphene with all the holes in it, without with the pre-made holes with all the different kind of letters in, but without the metallic plate, you cannot see which words were formed, meaning you have an additional layer of security ongoing. People might steal one of the 2 plates, but they are nothing without the other. And just as the metal seed phrases, like the metal plates, it's everlasting. It has resistance to fire, water, corrosion, shocks, and, well, practically anything else that you can come up with. It is indecipherable because, well, with these, you still can one-on-one directly read the words. And if you have a photographic memory, well, people can remember the words and how they were written and have immediate access. With this, not possible. You will need to have both plaques in hand in order to access your funds. So that's an additional layer of security built on top of it. So yeah, recoverable, restore your unique upper plate while your secret key remains safe. As long as you keep this plaque, you can lose this one. This is the additional layer which allows you to read your words engraved on the metallic plate underneath, meaning that you can actually lose the upper one, but as long as you safeguard this one, all is fine. And that gives an additional layer of security. By reason, you can lose one of the 2 plaques, preferably not the one with the holes punched underneath, but the above one. You can even throw it away to keep your funds safe, and no one will ever know how to access your funds except you, by simply getting a second with the punched holes in, or, well, having a copy of it. That's basically it. With that, yeah, I'm not going to. Is there something else I might need to cover? Oh yeah, they also initiated two-factor authentication biometric security, so making use of your fingerprints in combination with a solid 8-digit PIN code. So this is probably, well, those are additional extra layers of security you can have. So as you guys can see, plenty of methods exist to improve security. Two-factor authentication, keeping your seed phrase securely locked and secured on an indestructible carrier, I'm going to say. Now, if I were to summarize everything here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Now, where it concerns security, the most important aspect to it all is your seed phrase. As long as your seed phrase is safely secured, is safely hidden away from prying eyes, preferably obligatory offline, all your crypto investments that you hold yourself are going to be safe. Now, one thing I didn't touch upon this live stream was the difference between custodial wallets and non-custodial wallets. Now, what you want to have is non-custodial wallets. The difference between the two, well, it's in the name really. Custodial means there's a third party provider holding your coins for you. If you are used to trading on Coinbase, Binance, or Kraken, you might notice you are not making use of that seed phrase, which is 12 or 24 words long. It implies you are dealing with a custodial wallet. It means Kraken, Binance, Coinbase, and whatever other exchange are factually holding your coins. They aren't really yours. What you're seeing in your balance is an IOU. Now, what's a non-custodial? Well, it means that you have access to your keys. It means you own your seed phrase. And at that point, these types of wallets start. In reality, there's a bigger division. You have custodial wallets, non-custodial, and with non-custodial wallets, you have the cold and the hot wallets, which come with these separate distinctions. And with that, I'm going to finish this little live stream, which summarizes everything about security you need to know about securing your crypto investments, your crypto valuta, etc., etc. With that, I'm going to thank everyone for watching, and naturally, if you like what I do, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, or if you want to support me, there's links down below in the comments, or follow me on social media. With that, thank you guys for watching, and up until next time, bye.